Hey there guys, BlackPanthaa here and welcome back to some more Assetto Corsa. Now today, we're going to be looking at something a little bit different. We're going to be trying to drift on Assetto Corsa. Well, I did try to drift anyway, so just to keep in mind a few things in this video. Now, number one, the first question is going to be, why are you driving an Audi R8? Of all the fucking cars possible to drift in this bloody game, you choose an all-wheel drive car. No, all-wheel drive and drifting, blah, blah, blah. The comments are going to come. But the problem was, I had 3 options when it came to cars to play with in this base of the game, to show you anyway. There are more cars available. This is just obviously the pre-alpha demo that I was talking about in the previous video. We're able to show you the Audi R8, the McLaren P1, and the Ferrari FXXXXX69 thing. I don't, I'm sorry, but if you think of those cars, now, the Audi, yeah, it's kind of a normalish car. I can get that thing to slide. The P1, maybe, but it does have a massive wing trying to grip me to the ground, and the Ferrari the same. So it's like, well, yeah, I need to drift something, so I'm gonna have to drift this. Now, I did actually try and drift the McLaren P1. Didn't really want to go, but it would be possible if you really pushed it and the tuning was available in the game. But currently, it's not available in the game. It will be at launch because the option is there. It's just not clickable. Now, as some of you may know, if you played on the PC version, there are actually drift events. So you get scored for doing drifts and open lobbies online where you can do drift events. And as I've said in the past, in the previous video, this version of the game is literally a port from the PC to the console version. Has everything you can think of from the PC version, and it's done right. So it's not just slapped on, it's done properly. It is optimized for the consoles. Now, during this drifting session, I only used a wheel. I have not tried a controller on drifting yet on this game, but the wheel did feel awesome. It's a little bit difficult to get used to, obviously. It's a completely new game, completely new wheel setup to what I'm used to using, and it just wasn't my setup, and it was just a whole new experience for me, and it did handle pretty damn well. I have not, like one time I've actually drifted with a wheel on Assetto Corsa, which was on the PC in an open lobby in a low-powered BMW that's rear-wheel drive. It was simple to get it. It was difficult at the beginning to kind of get used to how it handles. There is a specific way you need to drift in Assetto Corsa. At the beginning, the easiest way to do it, I think it's putting up the stability control up slightly. I think that's the option that you change. You put it to like 25, and it does make it a little bit more stable when it comes to drifting, and then you eventually lower it down until you get used to using it without. But during this entire video, I did use a slight up on the stability management. I think it's stability management. It might be traction control. I think it's stability management. Anyway, it handled pretty well, and I think it's a really awesome thing that it does, because Assetto Corsa is another track racing game, but it'll have specific, like, proper drift events. Now, we know that Forza has them, but let's be completely honest, they're very half-arsed. They're not done properly. It's not a drift track. You're just drifting around a normal track. Assetto Corsa has dedicated drift tracks, open lobbies in where you can just drive around aimlessly without even getting any score. It's just really awesome. It's hard to explain how the drifting felt because, well, it's probably easier for you to try it yourself, but it just feels as you would imagine. It feels like it's understeer going to oversteer, then trying to hold it as long as you can. There were times at, at the point in actually playing this game where I could literally like full lock it one way, almost full lock it, not completely, that would be a bit crazy on a wheel, but I almost full locked it and then kind of just hold it to the side, hold it to the left, try and, counter steer it to bring it, to keep it stable, and it worked. Just be cautious with the throttle every now and again. And I didn't use the clutch because we could only use the flappy paddles in this, so that's another reason. If you had the shifter, it'd probably be a million times easier to obviously get the thing to shift properly, that sort of thing, and be able to hold the drift better with the clutch, that sort of thing. But it felt great. It felt awesome. It felt as you would expect to do with the handling model in this game. So the handling model, but you're making it go sideways, and you're trying to keep it going sideways. Again, we're using an all-wheel drive car here. The only other experience I got was with another car that was on the actual game, which I can't really talk about, but it just felt like a rear-wheel drive car, and it was simple enough to use, so I mean, there's no issue there. It handles just like it did on the PC version with a wheel, drifting wise. So the question is, do I see people using this game for going on and hopping on and have a little drift event if they like their sim-ish style games like track racing, and they just want to play about with, nerdy settings of the cars that, are actual settings of the car? Because, I mean, the only other game on the market for the PlayStation at the moment, which is the platform is going to sell the most on the consoles, we already know this, but the only other competition it's got is Gran Turismo Sport, which is not coming out for a while, and it isn't a full-on Gran Turismo game. This is like a full-on track racing game. Gran Turismo Sport is going to be kind of like the prologue of Gran Turismo 5, so it's just a little bit of a teaser, doesn't have everything. So I think for a while, this actually has a chance of being the track racing game that people go to on the PlayStation, depending on when it comes out. As for the Xbox, what does it do better than Forza? As I said, the events on the multiplayer side and having open lobbies in where you just join and you don't have to do the event kind of thing. That's something I've asked for on Forza for a while. I know people have told me it used to have it on Forza, and I just think it's going to be a useful feature for people that just want to jump on and have a little bit of a play, no matter what they're doing. But anyway, be sure to let me know down in the comments what you think of the game. Are you going to pick it up? Are you going to be drifting? Are you going to be doing lots of stuff? I don't know what you're going to be doing. Just let me know in the comments. What's your event type you're going to be looking forward to doing most? And what's the thing that I've mentioned so far that you're looking forward to most on Assetto Corsa if you're picking it up? If you're not convinced, let me know why as well. But anyway, be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed, found this useful, subscribe if you are new, and I shall see you guys in the next video, where we may be drifting a roller coaster. I don't know. Peace.